EDU-Station. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Education Podcast, where we are this week featuring Teacher Appreciation. We are so excited! Yes, so in honor of Teacher Appreciation, we are putting a lot of childcare owners and their staff in to talk about why do they get in business, what is the excitement things that's going on inside their organization, and how you can be a part of their organization and helping them with teaching and reaching other students and kids in their facility. So right here we have Miss Nene Evans. Hey,
Hey.
And then we have her lovely pre-K teacher, Miss Jasmine. Hey. So I am so excited. We're gonna dive right into getting some questions. If you got any questions, feel free to put them in the comments. Let us know, and we'll definitely respond back to you. So I'm gonna start off with you, Miss Nene.
Okay.
I've been knowing you for a while,
Mhm.
and tell me your background. Why did you start CCL?
So my road to childcare is a little different. I actually taught in Hamilton County for 10 years, and then I became a reading interventionist. And my job as a reading interventionist was to make sure that kids were ready for the next grade. And so I found a common denominator in kids who came to school being unprepared for school. So I opened Champion Christian Learning Academy in hopes to bridge a gap so that when kids leave early learning facilities, they are ready for kindergarten. Because, y'all, the requirements for being successful in kindergarten are not the same that they were when I was in school. When I was in kindergarten, I knew how to spell my name, and I made friends. But now kids got to be reading on a certain grade level. They got to be able to do simple math, understand concepts that I probably didn't learn until like second or third grade. So I opened CCLA because I wanted kids to go to kindergarten prepared for school.
I want to go back. You said you was a teacher first.
Yes. I was a teacher first.
And then you open up the daycare.
Yes.
How did you switch? I mean, you just said, I just want to stop being a teacher and just go
No,
open
the
my
job
business.
is still the same. The job is still the same. Now I just teach teachers to teach kids. It's still the same. I bring every resource that I use in the classroom, I give to my teachers. Everything I remember a principal giving to me, I give to my teachers. I think the best principals and the best childcare providers started in the classroom, because you're in the classroom. You started in the classroom.
I did. I got thrown in the classroom, a couple of classrooms at some childcare facilities.
Correct.
And I didn't know anything. I was like, I'm a toddler teacher. I'm an infant teacher. I'm a pre-K teacher. So I can understand, but just coming from, I think you was middle school, weren't you? You went to middle school.
So I was middle school first. I'm K through 8 certified. So I can teach anything K through 8, yes.
She K through 8 certified. I just want to say that.
I'm not going back.
She's not going back. Hamilton County, she's not going back. But
right.
But I mean, that's amazing because, like I said, I come from the background of being just in childcare since birth. Literally. Like my mom, my aunts, they all was in childcare. And I wanted to run.
Right.
I was like, that's not the profession I want to be in. Because I seen my mom, my aunt, everybody come home tired. And I'm like, them kids must want y'all out. I don't want that job.
Right.
So now look and see that we're actually in that field.
Yes.
And you said something when you said, I want to make sure that every kid is ready in my program.
Yeah.
No kid left behind.
None.
No. And I think that goes across for every childcare owner. That's one of the biggest things. Like, when you leave this facility,
you're going to be ready.
You're going to be ready.
You're going to be ready. And the standards keep changing. Yeah. So it's really, really important for child care providers to keep their ear to the streets about the things that are changing. Because just this year, y'all, they decided they were holding back third graders if they didn't pass the test, which means now there's so much pressure on K through 2. So like everything keeps changing. So we have to make sure that we stay ahead of the game so we can prepare kids for school. Yes.
Pre-K. That's why I'm glad you brought her.
Yes.
Because
we just had this conversation, did we not? We just had this conversation maybe a couple of weeks ago.
And yeah, if the pressure is on, and see, they leave daycare, childcare out. We look at as babysitting services. Right. We're not babysitters. Have you sat on a kid lately?
No.
How about you? You sat on a kid?
Sat on a kid.
Okay, I ain't sat on no children.
No.
But they look at us as the bottom. They don't look at us first. We're the first educators.
Correct. I don't even let them call me a daycare. Do I? I don't even let them call us a daycare. We are a learning academy.
Oh, I love it.
You call us a learning academy.
I'm a learning academy.
Please remember that.
Please remember that. We all said
We
that.
gonna correct you every time.
Absolutely.
Because like even like I was talking to somebody, say child care owners or child care workers, or they say no. So you talking about the daycare center? No, child care owners
Correct.
or
Early
you know
learning
we want our title just like the janitors want their
Right.
title.
Right.
So we deserve our title. So going back to, I want to ask this because I know it's some child care owners who are looking to start child care. Give them, and I'm gonna come to you, Miss Jasmine, in just a minute. I want to know what were some of your biggest challenges when you started opening up this daycare? Because we didn't even got into the juicy detail of what's your secret of what you got coming up. So
Right. So my biggest hiccup was I don't have a background of childcare. I had a background in education. So a lot of the DHS regulations, licensure rules, those were foreign to me. I had to really learn about ratios, about things that I had done as a mom that are forbidden in a childcare setting. I had to learn all of those things. So my biggest hiccup was figuring that out. I can honestly say, I know a lot of people say staff is a hiccup. I have never had an issue with staff because most educators want to teach in schools where education is a priority. Mm-hmm. So when I marketed my school as we are a school and not a daycare, people that had a desire to teach kids, they flock to me because that's what they want to do. They don't want to babysit. No. Like teachers don't want to babysit kids and they don't want to be known as babysitters. So once I marketed myself as what I am, the people that want to do the job, and it's a dirty job, y'all. Teaching kids is like brain surgery. But once I marketed that that's what we do, those individuals flock to me. So I'm thankful that I have not
Wait a minute. I want you to go back.
It is.
Brain surgery.
Brain surgery. I am.
You feel like it's brain surgery what you do?
Daily. No day has ever been the same.
Yes. That's what we love about
no child is ever the same. You think you know a child, you have this one day, and the next day is totally different. So every day you have to dissect and figure out this worked yesterday, but this does not work today. Come up with something different because you have to keep the children's attention and you have to meet them where they are.
Because I love when she said she's not worried about the staff because she knows this is how I'm marketing. And that's the biggest part in childcare. You gotta know your market. You really have to know what are you looking for. We all childcare owners, we can talk on this level. Like when it comes to staffing, it's like, okay, it's kind of like you rolling the dice sometimes. And you might roll the dice and you might get a good 5. And you might roll the dice and you might get a good 4. But when because this is what I'm learning this year, you gotta pour. You gotta pour and know what is it that you really want out of your child. You gotta know your why.
Yeah.
That's why I asked her what was your reason why you went into this, because your why gotta line up with your staff.
Right.
So if your staff don't line up with your why, it's kind of like you just running a daycare center.
Right. And to be clear, some people think that they want to do that work, and then when they come and realize the work, they're like, this is not for me. That doesn't make them a bad person. That just means they don't fit here. And I've had to learn that too, because a lot of times we are looking for replicas of ourselves. Mm-hmm. We're looking for people who teach like me, think like me, have my vision. But everybody doesn't come like that. Some people don't have it in them. And that just means either they need to be trained, like you said, or they need to be released so they can go and find something that lines up with their passion.
And I have learned that a lot of times, especially we from Chattanooga, so
not me,
not her. She's not gonna claim me today. She's gonna claim Chattanooga.
I've lived here a long time, so I'm gonna claim you.
Okay, claim it. So we see the cycle of staff. So I might have some staff to go to her center. She might have some staff to come to mine, and this and that. But not everybody fits that puzzle.
Yeah, and we call each other, y'all.
Yeah, we do.
We call each other.
This friend. We
call each other.
They see the name come across their friend. Oh, okay. But I say that because a lot of people get intimidated. They think we're not supposed to network together. They think our daycare is supposed to be button heads. But really, no. Because she learned from me. I learned from her. I asked her questions. Hey, how does this work? How does that work? What do I need to do to keep myself? I don't pour so much in her. Sometimes be like, I just don't know. And she's like, no, sis, we're gonna come
get together.
Yeah. So, and that's that tribe that we want to connect in Chattanooga as well. So if you're a daycare provider and not daycare, child care, a learning environment, okay, I'm gonna go with learning academy. and you're looking for some mentors, some accountability partners, you want to talk to somebody about what is going on in your childcare, and I don't want you to give up. That's what been on my heart, that a lot of daycare facilities are giving up. This is why I came out with this podcast, and I wanted to, even though it's teacher appreciation, we love our teachers, we love our staff, but we also got to start sticking together as business owners that's in this arena. This
Agreed.
Because we're not here to fight and argue. We can talk about this all day long, you guys. I love childcare. I eat, sleep. I can breathe childcare all day long. I can help you, but don't give up. Let me tell you, I'm pretty sure she can tell you she don't overcame the challenges with health department, fire department, licensing, everything. Everybody got a story to tell, and we're here to help you. So if you need to reach out to me, Miss Nene, we call her Nene. Some of y'all know it's Cynthia. If you say Cynthia, I don't know who you talking about.
Most people don't.
Nene.
Most people don't.
But reach out to us. Don't be afraid to call another sister up and say, hey, I need help with blase, blase. Hey, you got a spot for a 1-year-old girl?
We do it all the time.
Get somebody else to do it. I don't have no room.
We do it all the time.
But we collaborate. And that's what was the funny part. It was like, oh, you know Nene? I said, yeah, that's my girlfriend. That's my friend. It was like, oh. But y'all ain't childcare together. Ain't that like y'all, fighting for business? I was like, no. I said, no, we celebrate each other over here.
We're here for the children and the family.
I said, it's enough kids for everybody to eat. It's enough kids.
Y'all keep having babies, and we're going to keep being in business.
And we thank you. So I got this question for you, Miss Jasmine, that just popped in my head.
Sure.
So she's the pre-K teacher, teacher appreciation. How do you want to be appreciated?
Gifts are cool. Don't get me wrong. I love gifts. But to hear a parent or a family member to tell me thank you, to tell me that they noticed the growth in their child, that is the absolute best that you can give me. Because I give them my best every single day. So to hear that you notice the difference at home, she knows, my parents know, my children know, I'm emotional. I will cry just like that when you tell me.
And she will.
We were doing homework last night and I noticed that they learned X, Y, Z. So that means the most. Be verbal. Tell teachers how you feel about their class, their program, and how much you've noticed the difference in your child. We need to hear that. That keeps us going.
And the reason why I ask that, because a lot of times, I know men, we go out, we go beyond for our staff. I do. And I noticed that a lot of times gifts is okay, money is okay, but just giving a hug. I gave all my staff members hugs today. And they was like, I did the little game of what's the TikTok where you pick a card.
And however you want to hug.
And so I asked them, I said, you either want a gift card or a hug? So they didn't know what was behind the card. So a couple of them got a hug, and I gave a hug to one of my kitchen worker, and she was like, that's what I needed today. She said, man, anytime I'm having a down moment and I could just look at your face and you just come in here just excited. And she said, anytime I look at kids, this is what motivates me to come to work every single day, because I know I make a difference in these kids' lives. And I say, well, what else can I do for you? If a hug, do you want me to give you another hug? But she was just like, no, she was like, seriously, like, money and all that, that's fine, that can go away, but just being loved on and just being told that I am doing a great job.
Yes, that helps you feel appreciated.
Yes.
And another young lady, she said, my other son, I didn't get this. You sure this mine?
Get that all the time.
Yeah, but I asked you that because how do you feel like you've been there 4 years?
Yeah.
Tell them how you started in childcare.
So, Nia and I are friends, and we go to church together as well. So she knew that I was a teacher. I started working with children when I was actually a child myself when I was 14. I was a junior camp counselor. And I took that from here to here. I was telling everybody, okay, we need to do this. I'm going to take this group. And one of my older counselors said, are you going to be a teacher when you grow up? And I said, I do believe I am. And I was actually pregnant with my son, and I came to do a tour because if he was going anywhere, he was going to UCLA.
Okay.
And she was like, hey, you want to be my pre-K teacher, don't you? And I was like, do I? And my husband was missing. He said, yes, she does. He was trying to get me out the house, y'all, because I was in his pocket, housewifing and all. And I said, so you're my friend. I'm coming to help you, and I'm going to help you until you find a pre-K teacher. And that was 4 years ago.
And she's still here as my pre-K.
And so the one time I said, "Nee, did you find somebody?" She said, "Yes, I did." I said, "Who? Where are they? Let me meet them." She said, "I found you." So
I love it.
4 years later, I am still there. The program is thriving. I'm learning new things all the time. So are the children. So God is good, and that's my favorite part about it. That Jesus is the foundation of CCLA.
Yes, I love it.
I get to be myself.
Mm-hmm.
I get to love the Lord, love on the children, and teach them. It's a win-win.
So you're telling me every day you go in there and you already got your lesson plan done, you got your curriculum done, you got everything that you need, and
I have to have order. So yeah.
Tell them again, they ain't hear you.
I must have order.
Yes.
I must. I can come up with things quickly. If something goes left, I can get it back right and come up with something. But if I know what my day is supposed to look like, it just works better for me.
And so you never had any challenges in the classroom that you can, like, say if it's a pre-K teacher right now listening, they struggling right now, they trying to figure out how they can deal with either behavior issues or how to really set up their classroom management. What are some tips you can really help with a pre-K teacher that's out there that's struggling right now, that's like, I'm gonna give up?
So number one, do not give up. That's a part of the CCLA creed. Mm-hmm. We will never give up. If God chose you to be a teacher, then that's what you're going to do. It might look different every single day, but you still teach. So I may have one thing on my lesson plan, but my children are feeling something else. I meet them where they are, and we start from there, and we learn something. But every day there's a way to reach and teach a child. So do not give up. Just because you have something on your lesson plan and the children might just be tired, you might have to get up, move around. We might do yoga, but guess what? You get to go home and say, I learned a new yoga move today in my classroom. So just because you didn't teach what you had in mind to teach does not mean that you failed the day.
Right.
So keep going. You can call me. I have a planning period between 12 and 2. I'm here for you, teachers. Just like directors, they're there for teachers. I'm here for you. Do not give up. Keep it pushing. When you do your lesson plan, evaluate your children. So if you know we did not accomplish this last month, it's okay to revisit that the next month.
Right.
We're going to do it until everybody is on board.
All aboard. That was so cute. Yes, I say that because even like I teach, I'm a director as well, and I love lesson planning, by the way. I love lesson planning. Behind you is our curriculum boxes. That's what we use, the Let's Go kit. We use that in our curriculum, and that was one of the biggest things I noticed when I was hiring. A lot of teachers, they don't have that background of childcare. They don't have that background of lesson planning. And then when they go out to get in a CDA and everything else, that's not taught.
Correct.
They say, oh, well, this what kicks off this and that. Then I realized, I was like, no, I'm doing them a disservice if they don't know how to lesson plan. Right. So one of my pre-K teachers, she was like, I'm just struggling, LaShon. I'm struggling. I know you create this, but I want to add more. Put a twist on it because this child is not learning this, and this. So that's why I asked you that question, because you got pre-K teachers out there that really do. They want to teach, but they struggle in so many areas, from lesson planning, from having a misbehaved classroom.
Right.
I don't know what about y'all. I ain't gonna tell the truth. You got some of them students that just don't behave.
Sometimes I've noticed in my many years of being with children, it's not always misbehavior. Mm-hmm. It could be I don't understand.
Yep.
So this is where I'm going to choose to act out, so I don't have to sit down and do this. This is where if I act up, I don't have to try. So that's okay. If you see that behavior, you sit down with that child. What's going on? How can I help you? Tell me. I'm huge on raise your hand. Tell me you need help. That's going to happen in Hamilton County schools, or wherever they go. You're going to have to learn how to raise your hand and express yourself. So that's a part of learning as well. Just communicate versus acting out.
Yes.
You have to learn how to use your words.
Yes, and that's a big part. I like when you just said communication. I did that with a child yesterday, one of my students yesterday. I kept saying, "Why you over there throwing a temper tantrum?" Man, y'all, I'm 4'6". I'm about their height. So a lot of them think I'm their friend. So they'll run up to me and be like, Miss Shine, and this young fella, he was just just acting out. I said, come on, walk with me, talk with me.
Yeah.
And he was like, he started telling me about what his weekend was like. We talking like how me and you talking.
Right.
I was like,
Right.
you just want to be heard.
Yes.
Some kids just want to be heard.
They need that.
They don't. He wanted to be heard. I was like, okay, well, you ready to go back to your class? He said, that mean I got to lay on that cot? I got to lay with that blanket? I said, yeah. He come out, give me 30.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a man.
Yeah.
A whole man.
So what you do with that? You know what? You just say, okay,
You give him 30.
I'm gonna give you 30. I'm gonna give you a break. Because sometimes as children, because we all was kids,
Right.
we didn't always enjoy sitting down listening to a teacher,
Right.
especially if it's not a subject we're interested in.
Right.
That's true.
You
If
know,
it's something new, it could be intimidating.
Yes.
That happens with adults as well.
Especially if everybody else knows except for me. Then
Ooh.
of course I'm going to act out.
now that's something to help the parents.
Yes.
That's what you just said can help some parent out there.
Absolutely.
Because it's not that they are misbehaving in the classroom. This goes beyond childcare. This elementary, middle school,
Right.
because this happens all over. So it's not because they're acting out. It's probably because it's just they don't know.
They're not familiar. Yes. And can I say something to the directors about lesson planning or the child care providers? Empower your teachers to do their own lesson plans because every educator wants to have control and dominion over what is taught. So I know sometimes I talk to directors and they're like, I do these lesson plans for these teachers and they don't implement them because they're not theirs. My teachers create their own lesson plans. They have to turn them into me, right, Miss Jasmine? They have a deadline. I look at it because I know what's developmentally appropriate. And I even come to them and be like, hey, right here for fine motor, I'm not really feeling what you got for fine motor. Your kids are past that. Let's dig in the trenches and pull something else out. They assess their own kids. They have their own parent-teacher conferences because educators want to have dominion over what's taught in their room. When they have ownership, they'll do it with so much more finesse. They come in with these projects. They're like, oh, my kids are going to do this. It's because it's their idea. So a lot of directors are wearing themselves out, doing it themselves. When you hire capable people and train people to do it your way, let them do it. Give them complete control. And then hold them accountable. Okay, your lesson plans weren't turned in on time. Or let me see your parent-teacher conference data. Let me see what y'all spoke about. They do strengths and weaknesses for every parent-teacher conference. Now, of course, as a director, I'm going to look at it. But empower your teachers to do the teaching in your building so you can be free to do this stuff. Like Sean got this whole center over here because her teachers are in there teaching kids. So empower your teachers to do it so that you can be the principal.
But that's the thing. They want that freedom.
Yes.
That's what I just heard. Okay. Y'all gonna hear me say Holy Spirit, thank you.
Yes.
Freedom. They want that freedom. The directors want the freedom, but you don't. And I had to learn this yesterday, having a conversation with a great mentor friend of mine. I gotta let go.
Yes.
You can't just always think that your hands gotta be on the plow.
Yes.
You got some great educators that's out there that have great imagination. That's how she took the box from me. That's how I was able to come up with the Let's Go Camping. We have our curriculum training in June through July. We sit down and we think of what's next, what didn't work, what did work. Mm-hmm. I'm just the educator sitting in the back just to say, like she just said, no, that fine motor skill is not going to work for me. Oh, no, the way you have your dramatic play set up, that's not going to work for me. This came out literally during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. These boxes did. And me and my staff was on a Zoom. And my daughter and my great niece sitting on the floor, and I said, we're going to come out with a kit. Because parents was at home struggling, trying to figure out how to entertain their kids.
Right.
How can I still be motivated to learn, to do anything? And I guess what I use? My staff. My teachers. And I said, Nene, I need some help. I had to learn from her. She got the K through what? K through 8. Okay. So I had to learn through her how to set this up. So I say this, directors, because this is not your enemy.
Right.
You got to collaborate.
Yes.
You got to learn how to collaborate with somebody and say, hey, I'm working on this project, and this will come out. I'm working on this, and this, and you got a beautiful pre-K teacher that can come out and train your pre-K teachers. I heard that in the spirit. She can train them if I can't have her.
I'm where I'm going to be. I'm going to retire.
From CC. And listen, if you don't have the staff and you're like, my staff not ready to do that, they can't do lesson plans, train them. Train them. My staff be so tired of training. We have after hours training, during hours training, summer training, Saturday training. But train them to have the philosophy and the mindset of the academy you want. Train them to do their own lesson plans, their own assessments. That way you can be free to do, like you said, freedom. To do what else you have been called to do within your school.
And I didn't tell y'all where to pick this up at, but you can go on the Let's Go Express.org site to pick up your curriculum kits as well. Inside of it has tons of arts and crafts that's already pre-cut, made out for you, so it takes the stress off the staff of cutting stuff out and putting stuff together. We got the instructions inside of the kits to let you know, and it's coming with a bonus. You're gonna hear my annoying voice sometimes on a video telling you, "Hey girl, hey, how you doing? Let's get ready and learn." I love learning activities to get messy with the children. Mm-hmm. It's different arts and crafts. Like she said, she liked to cook. One thing I love about Miss Jasmine and I've been following them on Facebook is they do a project, just like we do at the Tiny Tigers Learning Center. We do a project, a family engagement project, where they have their family involved. That's what's inside of here. It takes all this because we got some educators that do not know. They don't love lesson planning. They don't understand it. And then we wonder why the kids fall short in the school system. Well, we take that stress out of you with the Let's Go Kids. You can come and learn from me. You got Miss Nene, you got Miss Jasmine that will sit down and talk to y'all about lesson planning. Now, Miss Jasmine, I did have one other question for you.
Sure.
Now, when it comes to talking with because I love that you said parent-teacher conferences as well. But I seen y'all got married. Y'all did a ceremony, a wedding ceremony.
We did.
Get them. What's y'all page on Facebook? What's y'all Facebook page?
Champion Christian Learning Academy on Facebook. And our website is www.championchristianlearning.com.
So I went back on there. I think that was Saturday. I sent you the message. Mm-hmm. I was showing my husband about how y'all did the wedding ceremony and everything. Now, what was the idea behind that? Because I see y'all do that every year.
So we just had our 4th Q&U wedding. Mm-hmm. The wedding of Q&U, everybody knows the letter Q and everybody knows the letter U, but everybody doesn't understand how special they are when they work together. Although U, there's a lot of words that use a U and not a Q, but there are no Q words that do not have a U in them. So they learn the phonetics, we review words, they come up with sentences on their own. Everybody has their favorite Q and U word. And Q and U actually have wedding vows that talk about the alphabet. And this year, our groom was actually my son, Jackson Evans. Was the U, and Paris was our Q. And it's not just an activity, it's a unit. We learn for the entire month leading up to the wedding. Why does Q need a U? Why is U used in words without Q? And it's really amazing to see their little lights come on. And then during the wedding, there's a teaching component because some of the adults were thinking like, what's going on here? They're just going to dress up and be cute. So I stopped during the wedding and I teach a little bit, and you can see the adults going, oh,
like she just did.
I did it.
I said, oh.
So it's the wedding of Q&U. They have vows, they get ring pops, and at the end I say, you may now eat your rings. They eat their rings, and we celebrate and we dance.
Do that not sound excited? I had the whole vision in my head, y'all. I did. I was like, Q&U. We both over here looking at each other like, again, awesome. I just learned something from you. Like, that is awesome. And so that takes a lot of planning. It takes a little bit of work to make sure that they understand. So what do you do if a new student was to walk into your building in the middle of your Q&U and you just got this new student come in? How do you just incorporate that?
So what would be my favorite part about a brand new student coming in during that time? I would allow my students to teach them what we're doing.
Didn't think of that.
So that way, I would see who's got it, who needs some work, and who can tell their parents what we're doing. Because I want them to go home and say, we started learning about Q&U today, and the parents say, well, what is that? And a child tells them. Oh. It's all about the teaching.
I wish I could be in this brain of mine.
So it's gonna be a wedding next year.
It might be a wedding next year. I'm gonna have to connect with her and see how we can make this
be a wedding plan.
Yes,
we have a good time.
I see that. I see that y'all had a color game. I see y'all did the TikTok with the color game.
We've been doing color wars for 2 years. We have Battle of the Cultures, Battle of the Nursery Rhymes. battle of the Bible story. So every class either picks a Bible story or a color or a culture, whatever we're battling, and then we meet in the middle of our school and they just present. And it's so much power when a kid knows it well enough to present it. It's one thing when they know it. It's one thing when they can go home and tell mom. But when they can do it in front of all the kids in the school and their teacher, you know it's clicked.
But see, you building their character up.
Yeah,
and that's what I tell my parents here. Like, when I give you projects and things of that nature, it's a project for all y'all to come together.
Yeah.
Because when I did my projects with my mom, I was excited. Like, hey, this was the arts and craft, and she was like, yeah, you finna set up my kitchen. But it gave us the talk, and then when you go home and you come to school and you like, who helped you with this? My mama did. Yeah. You be excited to hear. My mama helped me with this. My daddy helped me with this. You like, okay, so how did you feel about the project? Like, we go into a little deeper, then they go into presenting. Yes. So now when they get into kindergarten, they can speak highly. Yes. They can speak up for themselves. They ain't calling themselves DD and Day, and they speaking their whole full name. So that's what I heard in this. Like,
that's my favorite part. That you can stand up and say, my name is, I am this years old, and this is my project. And you can talk for yourself.
Yes.
Being able to speak for yourself, you're going to do that for the rest of your life.
And see, they think of that being in first grade. They ain't thinking that's child. No. They don't think that's child.
No. You want your child to be an advocate for themselves anytime they are not around you. Absolutely. So that is 4 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old. The more rigorous curriculum becomes, kids need to be able to say, I don't understand this. Can you help me? Mm-hmm. Or we need them to be able to advocate for themselves. And that every time you give a kid an opportunity to stand up and speak for themselves, that is what you are creating. Yeah.
Well, y'all don't already answer like 4 of my questions that's on the sheet.
But I can't see it.
I know, right? Right. So my other question was, how do you ensure that your child care facility provides a safe and nurturing environment for your children? So to elaborate, like, what are some things that y'all make sure that, because everybody say, oh, my child care is safe and it's lovely and they got a nice environment and this and that. How do you make sure that all that you're saying in your vision statement, your mission statement, is what you're showing? Like, they see it.
Well, I got cameras in every room. So I'm able to monitor what happens inside. I think more so when we talk about inside safety. Yes, inside and outside. I think the more we talk about safety, we're talking about like maybe strangers coming in off the street, or because last week there was a threat at Brainerd. That might be 2 miles away from my center. So immediately we locked down our center. Of course, I'm looking on cameras inside and outside perimeters. We locked everything up. But every time something happens is an opportunity for a provider to tighten up the rope. When COVID came, I think every child care provider was like, let's get some professional cleaners in. Okay, let's become more stringent on what symptoms we allow in the school. Every time something happens, even if it doesn't happen in your building, use that as an opportunity for you to tighten up the rope and say, okay, because this happened up the street, this is not going to happen here. So here's what's going to happen. At our new facility, we're actually going to have the key fob where everybody can come in. You can only use it if you have a key fob. But something had to happen for me to say, okay, that's an area where we need to.
Well, that's how child care licensing rules are made.
Right.
Something happened.
Correct. And then we're like, we ain't gonna let that happen no more.
But
correct.
From a teacher standpoint, we also have drills.
Yes, we do.
Yes. So children know this is what we do if we hear this sound. This is what we do if we hear Mrs. Jasmine's whistle. This is what we do if we see her say, give me 5. So that way there's no panic and everybody
can use the whistle.
Safely.
Yes.
My kids love the whistle.
I do. Because you can tell I'm not a loud person. So
she's
if you
not.
hear my whistle, we need to move over here and follow in
I'm gonna get you a new whistle. I got some whistles in the car, girl. I got some whistles. It's loud. It's loud. I love my whistles. But I say that because with licensing, they change things on us all the time. And we, like you said, the drill. It's important that the parents know the drill. It's important that the staff knows the drill. It's important that the teachers knows the drill. I mean, the children. I had one little boy, I say our code, what our code is for fire, endangerment, or anything like that. So I said the color red. He's supposed to say, it's time to go, fire! I was like, no,
he knows the code.
That's the code.
He knows the code.
I was like, oh my God, at least I know you remember what the code is, you know. And not only that, that lets me know, hey, we teaching them something and they remember it. That's a 2-year-old, by the way.
Yes.
Awesome. 2-year-old. So I know, and also like with that, I was scared. I was like, oh, we need them down there. Wait a minute, make sure they get locked up and everything else.
It was
But
locked up. The blood covered.
Amen.
I know. We're gonna pray on that one. So my
Absolutely.
other question is, because you done talked about it, let the cat out the bag when you said to keep.
Oh, I'm sorry, you didn't tell me.
Yes, you did. So what is the future plans that's going on with your center?
So CCLA is getting location number 2.
Woo!
Y'all, let me just tell y'all, and I didn't come on here to preach, but if God said it is going to come into fruition, it was prophesied over me 8 years ago. My son is 8. 8 years ago, she came and told me and said, God said you're going to have your own school. I was like, I don't even want to be a principal. I was in the classroom minding my own business. And every time I ran from it, and his plan still came into fruition. So we purchased our building in November. It is currently being renovated. It is set to open in September. We're going to move bit by bit because, of course, right now our building holds 99 kids. And so our new building will be licensed for 50. And then we're adding on so that we can all essentially be in one big building. But God is so mindful of us, and I am just thankful that I have this opportunity because I learned so much in the classroom. And I know Miss Jasmine and other teachers like her get excited about those aha moments from kids. And when parents come and say, my child is doing so well in your room. But let me tell you my joy. My joy is when teachers like her and other teachers in my building actually walk into their calling of being a true educator. That is what brings me joy because I know that is my purpose. And so I am fulfilling purpose. You asked what is in the future, I'm going to continue fulfilling purpose.
Yes. And getting the rest of these educators.
Yes. And have them fulfilling purpose.
Yes. And I'm super proud of you, friend.
Thank you.
Oh my God. I mean, we both was breaking ground at the same time. And I'm calling her like, is it this slow?
I done called and cried to her, and she done called and cried to me.
She said, friend, it's gonna work. It's coming.
It's coming.
Y'all see the land over there, don't
It's coming.
It's coming. So we was both on the phone talking. I was like, so we gotta do this. We gotta get an architect. We gotta do this. And y'all, the stress of just doing this whole planning.
They're not making it easy for us, y'all.
They not.
So when you see a person that look like us, that has, please salute them, congratulate them, celebrate them, tell them good job, because they are not making it easy for people that look like us.
It's not. It's been a long journey.
Yes.
That's why a lot of people like, oh, you cry, baby. When I cry, it's because I'm crying. But this has been a long journey.
It don't mean we weak.
No, we
tired.
Joy.
Never we ain't weak.
Never that. Don't test that. But it's joy because when you have people that walk in your vision like this, Jasmine, and you have people that see that you are literally providing quality care. Because you got daycares that's popping up every 5 minutes. That don't mean they okay. We ain't gonna that's a whole different stage.
I'm scared.
I'm very scared. That's why I said what I said. Like don't look at us like we make this easy. Because that's what I got a conversation. Somebody said, oh, well, I want to open up a daycare because it's so easy. The book that you see me holding, I collaborate with a lot of childcare professionals. Jumpstart your childcare success. This book right here, you looking to start childcare, here you go. Yeah. Get on my website, get it. Because you can't sit here and think a YouTube channel gonna help you. People that just you think of this babysitting that you can just do it in your house. Baby, it's laws and rules to this. It's a lot. And then building a building, going to renovate and I drove past there because I go better to go get my hair done. I said, oh, bless the Lord Jesus. Because I already know that it's like, hey, we got to deal with the architects. We got to deal with environment. We got to deal with, it's so many things. And her story, I call her for help. Because I'm like, hey, so who I talk to next?
Yeah.
Who the next person? Somebody got to go through it. So that way it makes it easier for the next person. Indeed. Same way with being a pre-K teacher. It's not easy. I'm pretty sure she like, Lord, send me angels for the next school semester because it's a challenge. Sometimes it's not going. I've been a toddler teacher for 3 months.
And turning your 2 weeks.
I was turning in my 2 weeks every day. Do you hear me? Every day I was firing myself and I'm the owner. I said, Lord, I can't. I gotta find me some.
Get somebody
in here. And I'm praying. I said, get somebody else to do this job. But I learned from being a toddler teacher what it takes to work inside them classrooms. Yes. Like the pay gotta be excellent.
Yes.
You can't keep paying them chump change dollars and think they supposed to come in and run a quality program when they tired.
take care of.
They don't have all the materials. Well, it's no excuses anymore. You at the education station, baby.
Yes.
We got affordable material.
I'm definitely about to shop.
Yeah, she's definitely about
I
to
see
shop.
a lot of things that I need.
So we getting ready to wrap this on up. My final question is, what do you love most about running your childcare business, and how do you hope to make a positive impact on the children and families?
I told you my favorite thing is when teachers walk in their purpose. I can watch on my cameras. I hear through my wall. They had graduation practice today. I hear the teachers encouraging and celebrating the kids. I hear the kids. I get so much joy. I see lesson plans begin to turn, and we are doing so much more than we were when you first came. That is my joy, is empowering teachers. Because y'all, I can't do this work forever. Miss Jasmine not going to do this work forever. Somebody right now is 18 and 19 years old and wants to be a fabulous teacher, but they don't know how to do it. And so I love empowering teachers to just be who God has called them to be. And when parents come back to me and say, what's that teacher's name? What does she like? I want to get her a gift card. That brings me joy. Because that means my teachers in there are doing that. They're my front line, and I'm not in a toddler classroom. I'm behind the scenes making things happen. But these people right here every single day are stepping up to the plate, and they're swinging and not missing. And so when parents come back and tell me that they want to celebrate them, that makes my heart good. I knew I did a good hire. I knew I did good training, and I know I got the best man for the job.
Yes. See, we didn't even get into the juicy part of the hiring and everything else.
Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a part 2.
It's gonna
The
have
hiring
to be a
part,
two.
the onboarding part is key. I had to learn that the hard way. You learned that the hard way? I learned that the hard way.
Always be hiring, like always be closing. I had to always be hiring because it's stuff that, and me and again, I say my mentor, she's always behind the scenes, but we was just talking about that. Like, it's time for us to really educate the high schoolers and some of the colleges too, because this job is not easy.
They need to get their feet wet.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
They do.
Yes.
They need to get their feet wet. This is not a jump right in, I got it. I have been.
You need to like that song.
This is not.
You need to like that song.
CEO already.
but sometimes I gotta be CPR, but just, hey,
For real.
because literally, I'm telling y'all, I thank God. I know most directors and people like, you work in your classroom. Like, I thank God that I did work in my classroom, because it fixed some stuff in me to make me consistent on what I need to do. There go that word again. Or what I need to do.
Right.
Yes.
Because Tiny Tigers can be a brand. CCLA can look good right here, but if it's messed up and it's not consistent and you don't know what you're hiring,
Yes.
baby,
Yes.
your brand can go boom.
Yes. Quick.
All because of what you hire.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned, that's what I learned in the last 3 months. I said, I'm going to take my time on this.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour into my staff. Right. I'm going to make sure that they know. People like, you doing too much. I'm like, nah, I'm down here on the weekends. I'm like, Nene, baby, I'm going to drill this in your head. Yeah. If you don't get how to change a diaper, I'm going to teach you how to change a diaper. Right. I'm going to make a video on how to change a diaper. Right. I'm going to come and quiz you every day. Do you know how to change a diaper? You don't know the licensing rule? You gotta have the step.
Yes.
You don't know that licensing rule about playground safety? Guess what? It's a training out there about playground safety underneath my name. Go look at it. Mm-hmm. Because that's how, if I gotta be serious about my business.
Right.
Let me take that away. I gotta be serious about his business, because he gave me the plan. God gave me the plan.
Right. So
the vision for Tiny Types, the vision for her business, CCLA, it gotta work. And with that, it's like, the staff gotta work.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep saying this. If your mission statement and your vision statement do not add up, it don't work. I look at it like a bicycle. You know how we first learned how to ride a bicycle? We had to jump off the porch a little bit. Fall.
Scrape your knees.
How many of us don't fail?
Mm-hmm. It's trial and error.
Yeah.
And so we didn't even do a segment on business, but me and my friend gonna come back and we're gonna talk to y'all about business.
I got you.
And in the childcare industry, because it's needed. Like she said, a lot of y'all jumping off the porch. Y'all ain't even pushing the gas. Y'all ain't even pushing the pedal. Y'all just going. And trying to pick up 5 other friends and can't even fit them in the bike.
Get you a mentor. Even the Bible says there is safety and wise counsel. Don't just be jumping off and you ain't ask nobody. You ain't run something by somebody. So you can make sure that you have a safety net around you. And it's okay to fall, but fall around some people that can help bring you back up.
Woo! I just said that on the Be About Your Business devotion this morning. I said, I remember standing in my parking lot crying. I wanted to give up. I told the Lord, he can have this thing.
I remember you said that.
You can have this thing. Do you hear me? And Miss Amy, my admin staff, at the time she was my infant room teacher, she came down there and lifted me up. And she said, you got this. You got this. And I was like, I was so worried about pouring into their cup, but I never had nobody pouring into me.
That's good.
So that's why I said staff appreciation, and I get teary-eyed talking about that scene because I can relive it. And now I can look at my parking lot and be like, God, look how you changed. Like now Amy is my assistant director.
Aren't you glad you ain't give up?
Man, I'm glad.
But
baby, when I tell you it, when he hit me a couple of times with that boxing glove, boom, boom, I was like, good Lord, I get it.
Get your boy.
But he was like the same way I tapped on that because I didn't know they seen me down there just screaming and shouting. I was screaming like a toddler, wanting to give up my business. And my teachers was what pulled me up.
Yeah.
It was 3 of them. They pulled me up and they poured into me. Was like, no, we got this. What you need me to do? What? And that's what teamwork means.
Yes.
Because not every time Nene gonna have it together.
Not one person can do it.
And my team as well, Miss Jasmine included, they'll come in and bring me gifts, encouraging words, even text messages after hours and just say, praying for you. And y'all, when you hire people, you got to make sure that people have your spirit because they can feel you, they can sense you when you need to be. I don't come in and I don't complain to any of them, but sometimes I come in and my spirit is down because other things. But my staff covers me. Yesterday I was not in the building. I didn't feel well. My staff prayed for me when I wasn't there. My son came home and said, Mom, we prayed for you today at graduation practice. That's because they carry my spirit. And so make sure when you hire people, you might not hire somebody that has 30 years of experience. They might not have a degree. But if they have your spirit and they have potential, that's a good hire. Yep. That's a good hire.
Somebody took a chance on me.
Yes.
Right. But somebody took a chance on me.
Yes. Somebody gave me a shot.
Because I didn't have no who. When that lady said, you sure you want to do childcare? I was like, I've been around it for a long time. They stuck me in that classroom, baby. I was like, and I got to do what with these children? Like, but she took a chance on me. I showed up every day. That's the key thing, too. You got to show up. And you got to work that job like, hey, I don't know what this new generation is, but if y'all got the bank account number that y'all getting paid from, let me know.
Oh my God.
I'm just having to throw that out there.
I just said that.
Because my thing is, my parents instilled in me, you don't quit a job until you have another job, but you show your best at that job that gave you a chance.
That's right.
That took that opportunity and said, hey, I'm going to invest in you, and I'm going to make sure that I pour into you. Because again, she didn't have to be here. Her husband said, yes, she do. Yes, she did.
Because I was still spending the money like I was making some, y'all.
Because she got to get her own.
Right.
And then she could have just stayed a middle school teacher and said, hey, I'm
reading interventionist. That was my favorite job. Now I'm doing what I love, but reading interventionist was great. I could have stayed there, but I obeyed God.
But God said you better.
I obeyed God.
He knew what the community needed where you was at. Absolutely. Then I never told y'all I ran from coming over here. I always wanted to be an East Brainer. I wanted my daycare in East Brainer. I was like, over here, Lord, no. And he stumped me right over here. And I took a building right here. And I took a chance, and the lady took a chance with me. And Miss Amy was my first hire. I always brag on Miss Amy because that's my first hire. Never worked in childcare. Now she been here 7 years with me.
Wow.
And she has a childcare certificate. She's going back to further her education.
Go, Miss
All because somebody said you can do it.
That's right.
I want y'all to realize what a teacher appreciation really means. Not just 1 week, not just one day. You need to appreciate these teachers every day.
Absolutely.
Because they show up. Because somebody right now saying, baby, them toddlers ain't what I want. Get me out of here. And they in their mind, they thinking, I can find something better else to do with my time. But it's that one teacher that's waiting on Miss Jasmine to say, hey, you can do this. Right. Miss Nene, hey, you can do this. That parent, hey, I enjoy. We understand the negative. We want some positive.
Yeah.
We need it.
Give me some positive this morning.
Some kudos.
I have to encourage myself every morning. I play loud music. And I decide that in my center.
You what?
I play loud music.
You what? You decide you
Oh,
make the choice.
I make the choice.
That.
that we set the temperature of
That's right.
every single day. That we walk in here, what we walk in here with, we touch the top and say, "I promise that's out there, stay out there." When we walk in here, we honor
That's right.
Christ.
Right.
We
That's
make
right.
sure that every child that we touch and reach learn something different today.
Yes.
My problems that was outside is stay outside. God would deal with them for me.
That's right.
And I have to tell them that because they say, how you stay strong? You go through all that. How do you stay strong? I said, I'm encouraged by the Lord because I know He's going to take care of me.
That's right.
But you have to think about the little people who are looking up at you.
Yeah.
Well, they look right at me.
Yeah.
You know, they
Yeah, they're watching you go through.
They watch you.
Yes.
They watch you. I pray a lot. And sometimes I have a moment and I have to sit in my desk and are you praying, Miss Jasmine? I am. Okay, we're going to pray too.
Mm-hmm.
You
Oh,
have
that's
to,
precious.
they're watching you. And they're not always going to do what you say, but they will do what you do one day. And you have to realize they're watching your smiles. They see your tears. They see if you're irritated. They're watching you. So you have to cover yourself before you get in there to be ready for these little people to look up to you.
Yeah.
I do agree.
Yeah.
So in us closing, I want to tell them thank you, and we appreciate you. Me and Miss Nene appreciate you.
Yes, we appreciate you. Yes.
So much. And with that appreciation, we want to give you a little token of appreciation. So look inside. I got you a cool little gift. You got one little free item from the store.
Thank you.
It's her face though. She like, yeah. So
wait, let me show it up. You can purchase it here.
Tell them, Carrie, you can purchase that here.
Let me get my man on, okay?
I'm loving
Teach your children these numbers.
Yes. So I want to thank y'all for coming on to the EDU-Station podcast, for sharing your journey, for telling us about how it is to be a pre-K teacher and showing us, hey, the rectorship look good on you, babe.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am so excited to have them. Stay tuned for more of the childcare segment of the Teacher Appreciation Week. All right. Woo!
Take care. Keep pushing.
Yay. Thank you for having us.